Yes. So this is intro to using HackerRank efficiently. Right. So we all know about coding. We all know the programming basics now in whatever language you have chosen. But now it's time to go for hands-on things, right? So HackerRank is a website where we can actually do the hands-on practical things. We can code and practice, right? So let's start with this. So before actually directly jumping onto the hacker rank, I would like to give some of the tips which I personally use to improve my coding and all. So first one is choose a problem solving platform, right? So what happens is there are number of problem solving platforms, right? First one is HackerRank, then CodeChef, HackerEarth, LeetCode. So there are a number of platforms, but the thing is that the difficulty level of questions on each of the platform is different, and even the type of questions which are occurring in the platforms, they are different. For example, if you are a pretty like beginner one in the coding, so you can't just jump to lead code platform directly because it is pure DSA, right? So before starting with pure DSA, you have to have a little bit knowledge or logic. You have to build a little bit logic and all. So for that we will go first. You can go first with the HackerRank website. So HackerRank is actually the easiest coding website for beginners. So first we will go with HackerRank. We will solve some basic, like we will be starting from printing statements like questions to pretty much intermediate level. Then we can go to CodeChef. So CodeChef is where we can give contests, and we will be ranked along with the other peoples who are giving the contests all over the world, right? So we can see what is our level, right? So after going 2 to 3 stars on CodeChef, so right, there is like rating on CodeChef. So after going to 2 to 3 stars, we can move to lead code for pure DSA. All right. In CodeChef also, CodeChef is actually competitive programming platform. So competitive programming is a little bit different than DSA. DSA is data structures that we actually learn, like trees, graphs, and all. And in competitive programming, it is more inclined towards the logic building, right? So it's a latter part actually. So even if you are little bit, you didn't understand that, so let it be. So first one is choosing a problem solving platform, and we are going to stick with that for some time. When we choose HackerRank, we are going to stick with the HackerRank for 1 or 2 months till we strengthen our basics. Then second one is start with easy problems. So this is again an important thing, to start with easy problems. Reason being, if you guys jump to a little bit higher level questions for you, the questions which will be a little bit higher level for you, and then you won't be able to solve those questions, then you will get actually you will get demotivated, right? And if you get demotivated, you won't feel like coding further, right? So we have to start with easy problems. We will build our logic step by step. We will start with like printing statements, then using if else conditions, for loops, and from that we will go to the highest level of programming till dynamic programming, graphs and all, right? So make sure that if you are getting demotivated, if you think that, oh man, I can't solve this question, so just take a step back, solve a little bit lower level question, and when you gain the confidence, you can move to that questions back again, right? So I hope everyone has understood the first and second point. Then third one is analyze the problem. So again, it is a very very important point, because many of the beginners, what they do is when they read the problem, they directly start to code without thinking about the problem, right? So firstly, what you have to do is, when you read the problem, you have to first understand the problem. Okay, you don't have to go to writing the code directly. So code is actually a later part. The first main, I mean, why are we even doing coding questions? We have to build the logic, right? We have to build our logic. So first build the logic in your mind. Just think about how you have to approach and implement that particular question, and then you can go towards writing the code. Because writing the code and thinking the logic simultaneously actually is, it won't work perfectly well. Either you will get stuck in the question, or you can even like take a lot of time to solve that particular problem, right? So that is third and most important point, that is analyze the problem. So I hope everyone has understood the 3 points. Now just let me know if you guys are clear with whatever I have told, then we will move ahead. You can give a thumbs up or chat. All right, fine. So let's move. So these are 3 points. Then fourth point is break down the problem, right? So what I told you right now, that you have to read the problem thoroughly and understand before typing the code. And fourth one is break down the problem, right? So any higher level or medium level, intermediate level questions of DSA, they won't be having only just one or two condition in their question. They will give you multiple conditions, four or five conditions, right? So if you are analyzing or considering all the four conditions at once, you will be getting stuck, or you won't be able to assess the problem further, right? So what you have to do is you have to break down the problem in different parts. And in the last session, I told you guys that you have to make a notebook, your DSA notebook, where you will be writing firstly in the first phase the syntaxes of various basic things like loops and uh, whatever we use actually. So you have to write down the syntaxes. But when you start problem solving, if there is a new type of problem, you will write a basic approach of that problem in the notebook, and even you can draw the visualizations, right? Like linked list, there is one topic, so you can draw the linked list and solve the problem further, right? So writing the problem down or visualizing your visualizations, writing the visualizations in the notebook is going to help you solve the problem pretty easily, right? So fourth one is break down the problem, and fifth one is plan your solution. So after breaking the problem, after assessing the problem, what you have to do is you have to approach the problem and think that how can you solve this problem. So for example, consider first and second condition one, then try to think that how can I solve this, then consider third and fourth, and then all the conditions you have to consider and try to find a solution for that problem, right? And this is again this is going to be very easy if you like visualize, draw the graphs and all in your notebook, right? So notebook is a pretty much important part in any person's DSA journey. If you ask your seniors in your college, anyone who is very much advanced level in the coding, so he will be definitely having filled already two or three notebooks of DSA, those who are pretty much experts in DSA, right? So you have to do that for sure. Then sixth one is implement your solution, of course. So after planning the solution, you have to implement a solution, that is write down the code. So when you see a problem, you don't have to write or type the problem or implement your solution directly. There are three more steps before writing the code, right? We already discussed or went through that. So I hope that you have understood these things. Now if you guys are still with me, you can give a thumbs up, then we will move ahead. All right, all right, fine. So let's move ahead. And of course guys, this is not going to be a long session, it will be a very short session, maximum 15 to 20 minutes, right? Then seventh one is refactor your code. All right. Eighth one is review your solution. Nine, learn from others, and 10th, repeat the process. So what happens generally is it is not going to be like you implement your solution and all the test cases are going to pass directly. There will be some more edge test cases which are not going to pass easily. You have to also consider that condition. So this is a little bit advanced thing, refactoring the code and all, about whatever I told about edge test cases and all, but it's fine. So to make it easier, if there is any error in your solution, you have to go through the problem statement again. You have to go through whatever you have written in your notebook about the problem, the short trick or whatever it may be. You have to go through that again and find where your solution is. Review your solution. Yeah, that is the thing. Review your solution, right? So then, if your problems gets accepted, if all the test cases are passed of your solution, then what you have to do is you don't have to just stop there. In any coding platform, any let that platform be anyone, that is any platform, that is HackerRank, CodeChef or whatever. There is a section or there is a tab for every question that is all like other submissions, right? So whoever have solved the solved the problem actually, till now everyone's solution will be available on that particular platform for every problem, right? So after your solution is passed, what you have to do is go to that particular section, and you can look at two or three best solutions, and see that how they have approached the problem, right? So it is again going to help you in strengthening your logic, right? So you can even type what I mean is you can even write the approaches in your notebook along with your approach for all the problems, right? So you can even do that. Then 10th one is repeat the process, right? So we don't have to stop at this only. We are going to solve 500 to 1000 questions of coding if you actually want to get into big tech companies. So it is very much necessary, and you have to repeat this process over 1000 times, right? So I hope that you guys know that for any person to be master in their field, they have to spend at least 10,000 hours on that particular thing, right? And actually 10,000 hours is a too much time. So to do that particular thing, what you have to do is spend 5 hours, at least 5 hours per day for 3 to 4 years, or even 4 to 5 years actually. So for now, you don't have to do that. We are just starting with this program, so you can go with a smooth process. But if you have to be a master in coding, then you will need to do that. And people actually do that. There is one ACM ICPC competition, which is a national level competition. So there is one person who is topping that competition. I mean, the one person who is getting first rank in that competition is getting that rank from past 7 years, right? So people are very much dedicated in even this particular domain. So all right, so we can move ahead now. So if you guys are still with me, you can uh, give a thumbs up. And if you guys are having any issue, you can, or any problem, you can type anything in the chat box. And if you don't, we can move ahead. All right, so let's move ahead. All right, so now we are going to the main part of our session. That is, let's go to HackerRank, right? So I will just open up my HackerRank. So this is actually a new account which I made because I have few stars and couple of I mean, I have solved very much a lot of questions actually on HackerRank, so it won't be same as the beginners one. So let's start with this. So when you log in, there will be this particular screen visible to you, and there are a number of topics available on the HackerRank: algorithms, data structures, mathematics. Yeah, one more thing, that if you know basic maths, that is, I mean, you have to know basic mathematics, that is finding LCM, HCF, or arithmetic progression, geometric progression. So if you don't know about that, I mean, if there is any problem coming up and it requires AP, then you can read the concept of AP and then write down the formulae and all that in your notebook, right? So you have to know the basics of mathematics for solving any type of coding question, because most of the logic building, 90%, 95% logic building is dependent upon your mathematics, right? Then there is AI, C, and C++ and other things. So for example, now if you have chosen C++, you can go to C++ section, Java, then Java, and Python, then Python, right? So there are three sections already available. Whatever language you have chosen, you can go with that. And after starting with C++ or any of the sections, they will give you some list of questions, right? So we will just check out the C++ one. Let's see how it looks. Right, so as I told you, the first one is hello world. So it is just printing thing. So we are going to solve this challenge. Then input output, basic data types, conditional statements, for loop, functions, pointer, and all. So this is going to be they are going to start from basics, and then they will go to the highest level of C++, right? This is STL, so it is one more advanced topic in C++. We can look at that later, right? So this is what you guys are going to do. If you have chosen C++, then just open that section and start with the first question. So after solving 10 to 15 questions, for example, in C++, there is this classes and objects concept, right? Or any language, or I mean whichever section you choose, right? So at this point, if you don't know about classes and objects, just watch a video on YouTube that what are classes and objects in C++, or what are classes and objects in Java, or Python, and just watch that video, write your notes down, solve that challenge, and move ahead, right? So this is actually the first medium question which I can find here, inherited code. So maybe this is also of that class and that particular thing. So what we will do is, after you solve first 20 to 25 questions, I think 20 questions is enough. We will go to CodeChef, right? So this is where you are going to practice your basics first. And if you don't know about any topic, for example, if you don't know much about conditional statements, you can watch a video on YouTube and then you can move ahead with it. So this is actually how we are going to approach the basic problem solving. Then this is about starting your preparation for any language. Then there are a couple of more. Yes, so this is actually the prepare section. Then there is a certify section. So this is a thing for latter part, but it's fine. I will tell you this just now, as we have already came upon this platform. So this is where you can get your skills certified, right? So there are a number of certifications available: Angular Basic, Angular Intermediate, and all. There is full stack, there is backend. So backend is actually part of full stack, but it's fine. There is SQL, and you will also find problem solving thing. Yeah, so this there is actually no uh, section of C++ because it comes under problem solving, right? So problem solving basic and intermediate. So one thing which I would like to add here is, there is also one section of problem solving in HackerRank. Is it there? All right, so I think that they have maybe removed, or you can check it out later. So when you start with your when you understand all the basics of your particular language, then what you can do is you can go with the problem solving one. So problem solving, when you go for this exam, they give you options that which language you have to choose, and you can choose your preferred language over there, and then you can start solving the questions. There are actually a couple of questions, and they give you 30 to 45 minutes, I think, for whole test. And if you pass the test, then in few hours they will provide you with the certificate, and you can showcase that certificate on LinkedIn and all, right? So it is also very much important thing, but this is for later part, but it's fine. So this is pretty much it actually. Prepare and certify are two sections. All right, so there is one more section, compete, but I think that we can talk about this later. First we will strengthen our basics in coding. Fine. So you can even simultaneously do the mathematics part. As I told you that basic mathematics is very much required. Handshake, minimum height triangle, army game and all. So I have not actually done this. You can explore it by yourself. Okay, so this is all about HackerRank. So again, guys, you can give a thumbs up if everything is clear, or you can type in the chat box if there is any question. All right, so I think that there is no question. I actually, all right, so choose a language, basics to advanced, keep track, creating notes. Yeah, this is whatever we have discussed it again, certification and all. Yeah, the last point is actually, the thing is, we before some time, I think that 15 to 20 days ago, we had Prashant Kumar in our podcast. We had a podcast with him about DSA. He is actually SD at Oracle. So he gave us his insights about DSA and coding and all. So we will be uploading it on YouTube in near future. So if you guys want to have a look at it, you can go for it. And we actually keep planning podcasts like this. We are doing it for a couple of months now. In 20 to 25 days, we have one industry person in our podcast, and then we upload it to YouTube, right? So you can of course attend that podcast and gain access to going into the industry for DSA and coding. All right, so that is yeah, I actually fine. Yeah, all right. So that is pretty much it. We are done with the session. So if you guys are having any questions, you can put in the chat box.